I need to know, like, is he lying to me? Is he telling me what I want to hear just to kind of drag me along?
You know, I've seen you hook up with other guys, kiss other guys, you know, hook up with another guy up here, like in that sense where Gabby wasn't doing that.
I called it. I said that I didn't think Yana had the bandwidth to put up with whatever production were going to put her through. And sadly, this is shown. The fact that she broke down to the extent that she needed to change into her nightgowns and go into the bedroom with nobody else there tells you that it was really bad. The snippets that we saw must have been the milder version. The fact that she was on the floor crying. And it's like, where is the welfare team? Because they should be looking after her mental well-being. The idea that we're more concerned about ratings than we are about someone's mental well-being is worrying for me. And then, oh my God, we thought Hannah was bad last season. In all my time of watching Love Island Australia, I think the most villainous and most dangerous person, I don't mean to put that on her, but I feel like that is who Lacy is, because of the fact that she keeps trying to play people against one another. She wants the guys to be chasing after her, and this is why she's going after Cooper and Kia, but then the audacity to then try and sort of pit Gabby and Jotham against each other doesn't make sense to me. She can't fathom the fact that Jotham is not into her and has decided to move on, and this is why she's trying to create drama for him. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Australia, Season 7, Episode 6. So we pick up with the islanders having got dressed. Well, they're getting dressed and they're just talking about the day. Obviously, there is anxiety amongst the girls. And you have Lacy have a chat with Gabby and sort of say to her, well, I don't think Jotham is being honest with you because he's saying one thing to you and he's saying another thing to me. And it's like, no, Jotham said that he was going to give all his time to Gabby to see if that could develop. Obviously, he was still open to getting to know you, but at the moment, he didn't think it was fair for himself to be splitting 50-50 between the two of you. He wanted to give all his attention to Gabby. If it didn't work out fine, then he would move on to the next sort of connection. And so the idea that you're trying to put these ideas in Gabby's head doesn't make sense to me. I feel like she can't fathom the fact that Jotham doesn't like her, or the fact that Jotham is not like a puppy dog behind her, even though he's with Gabby. Jotham, I think the smartest move was putting all his eggs in Gabby's basket and focusing on Gabby and leaving the door slightly open for Lacy because he wasn't yet sure about what was going on with Gabby. Gabby is smart to say that I don't trust Lacy because she's not giving me something tangible to say this is what he said or this is what he's done. So for her to say, you know, he isn't giving me, for Lacy to say he isn't giving me the vibes that is all about you, you can't trust him. Girl, please take several seats. We're not here for that. We really are not here for that. And we need you to keep it stepping. You then have the islanders come out, they pick up their drinks, you have Ross do the toast, and then you have, I think it was Gabby who tried to take a picture of Lacy and Cooper, and Lacy refused. And then the moment that Reese came to her and wanted to take a picture, she was happy to take a picture with him. And it tells me that she was using Cooper until she found somebody she liked, until she found somebody else she could play on while she was waiting for her person to come in. That's the impression that I get, because I didn't get why she was refusing to take a picture with Cooper if she really likes him and was really eating his face off. So you then have, Lacy go for a chat with Kia. Do I think they went for a chat? No, they went for a makeout session. That's all they did. They went out for a makeup session and it was really bad. You had people sort of looking at them as they went up, but for them to start kissing and doing all that doesn't make sense to me. That shows me that she is just using her body to get someone to keep her in the villa. That's all Lacy is doing, because we all saw her make out in the bedroom with Cooper away from everybody else. Now she's gone to the terrace. She's sitting there with Kia, and that's all they're doing. She was friends with Yana, and so the idea that she hasn't even checked in on her friend but is busy going around the villa sort of making out with her friend's ex-guy that is sort of sitting in a tailspin doesn't make sense to me, because they were kissing, and from there she said, oh, I need to go and sort out my lipstick. They went again to the girls' changing room. They were busy making out in the girls' changing room. She just wants the attention. She just wants the attention. You had them come out of the bedroom, and you had Connor and Isabelle sort of saying that we are not open to anybody else. We are interested in what we have going, and this is where we're going to stay. We don't care what everybody else is doing. We are interested in one another, and we're going to stay there. And it's like, girl, make it make sense. Make it make sense. It's only day one. But anyway, the islanders then receive a text message. Mike receives the text message that reads, Islanders, it's time to hiss and make up in tonight's challenge, Snake Pit. Hashtag cold blooded, hashtag hiss in. And it's like, oh, it's about to be messy. It really is. So the islanders gathered around the fire pit, and at the fire pit, they had this box with sort of rubber snakes and the cards that sort of challenged the islanders to do something. First up was Shana. Her card read, Kiss the islander with the sexiest voice. It was surprising that she picked Mick. I would have expected her to pick her partner, but she decided to pick Nick. I don't know whether she saw this as an opportunity to try and explore a connection without appearing to explore a connection. Ross, you could tell he felt some type of way about it, but he decided to be the dignified gentleman. Next up was Jotham. Jotham's was send a dirty text to the islander of your choice. He sent his text message to Gabby. And that was a statement, because every time Jotham had a challenge, he always went to his default, which was Gabby, which tells me that he's really moving on from Lacy. Maybe production might be encouraging him to continue to have chats with her, but I don't think he's invested. Isabelle was use your snake to give another islander goosebumps. She called Connor and she was busy hitting Connor on the bum. I don't think they're a romantic couple. I think they're a friendship couple that have decided to get each other to the very end. Yana was kiss an islander who you think is most likely to have a sex tape. She kissed Kai, and you had the likes of Ross saying she didn't need to pick Kai. It doesn't make sense. And she said she picked Kai because she knows that there are sex tapes that they made, so it was easier for her. I don't know. Next up was Kai. His was kiss the islander with the best hair. He went and he kissed Lacy. And then you had, was it Isabelle, I think, who said, oh, well, I have the better hair. And it's like, girl, take several seats. You said you're not interested in anyone. And so he kissed Lacy, and it went on and on and on. And it's like, where is the friendship in this? Because Lacy, knowing that, Yana isn't taking this very well, should have just given him a peck and moved on. But she wanted to make a statement in front of the fire pit and be the most popular person. She's giving me malicious Sav vibes, if you get what I mean. Anyway. Shan was whisper of sexual fantasy to an island of your choice. She picked Ross, and then she whispered to Ross. Shan is another one who has decided to choose someone who she thinks is most likely to stay with her until the very end, or until her person walks in, and Ross is that person for her. Mike's was the snake is a bombshell. Share a sexiest kiss you've ever had with it. And it didn't make sense. He was poking he was putting all the snakes in his mouth. It was a bit, yeah. Jotham was kiss the islander with the best body in the villa. He chose Gabby, and you could tell every time he picked Gabby, Lacy died a little bit inside. You could see that she died a little bit on the inside. Anyway, next up was Gabby. Wrap a snake around the neck of the snakiest islander. She chose Lacy. Yes, I totally agree with that. And she said she did it because of the comments that Lacy said about Jotham. And Jotham, it seemed, already knew, so Gabby must have told him what Lacy was saying. So I'm happy that they sort of exposed her in front of everyone. And for Lacy to try and pretend that she's the victim, she's none. She really is not. She needs to take several seats because we're not buying that nonsense. Anyway, the islanders then stood up and left the fire pit. So the islanders then decided to stand up from the fire pit. You had Yana be the first person to leave the fire pit. She was distraught because it's bad enough she had to watch Kai kiss Lacy once, but she had to watch it twice. And it's not like they were giving each other a peck. They were really going to town. And so I get why she was upset. Lacy, on her part, decided to pull Gabby for a chat. And she was saying to Gabby, he is been lying to you just as he's been lying to me. He's been telling you what he thinks you want to hear, and so you need to be careful of him. And it's like, why are you doing that? why are you doing that? If you want a guy, find yourself a guy. She's giving me, Zach vibes. If you remember Zach, the way he stole Lucinda from Nate, that's the same impression that I'm getting from her. And it seems like she's watched the show quite a bit and she's decided to sort of pull from a couple of people. That's what Lacy is coming across as. And I really don't like it, because why would she do that? Jotham on his part was busy telling the guys that, Lacy has been making sort of allegations against him, but she hasn't had the evidence to back up what she's saying. So it's really sort of causing trouble for him and Gabby, which is really sad, though, really sad. You have Yana breaking down around the villa. She went into the confessional. She was crying. She went up into the changing room. She was crying. Went up into the breakfast area. She was crying, really, while you have Kia just sitting there, just grinning away. And poor Mike is being very understanding by just waiting patiently to see what is going on in the situation. I love that at least Shan was able to sort of pull Yana for a chat. And Yana is saying that, I am friends with Lacy, so I'm very upset that, she keeps making out with someone that I've confided in her about how badly he treated me. So the idea that we were best friends and she's doing this doesn't make sense. And it's like, this is very insensitive of Lacy. And as far as I'm concerned, I think she's the villain of the season, because if you are friends with me, why would you take pleasure in seeing me break down? Why would you do things that you know would cause me distress? I didn't get it. So you then had Yana go into the changing room. She was trying to freshen up her makeup. And Kia then came and tried to talk to her. And she said, I don't want to talk to you. Allow me peace. He knows what he's doing. And he also knows what effect it has on her, because why check up on her if you really don't care about her? The fact that she was laying there with a teddy bear or someone's voice sounds like her mom. Really was heartbreaking, really heartbreaking. You then had, the girls, you had Lacy and Gabby in the girls' changing room, sort of trying to sort of have this chat about how Jotham was and being honest with the two of them. And the guys, Jotham and Kia, then went up to see the girls. And before, they walked in, you had Lacy say to Gabby, I want to speak to Jotham first before you speak to him. I think she wanted to manipulate whatever he hears. That way, if Gabby goes to him, he doesn't listen to what she has to say. So when the guys came in, you had the girls say, you can't just walk in, you need to shout before you walk in. And then Gabby then was left in the changing room while Lacy and Jotham went for a chat. And you could see that Jotham didn't understand what the big deal was. He didn't understand it, because before she went out with Jotham, Lacy sort of repeated what they were going to say to Jotham to make sure that they were on the same page. And then she ran out to Jotham, and it's like, I personally don't get what her beef is. Jotham is right that she's kissed Cooper, she's kissed Kia, she's shown that she's open to exploring other connections. He needs to focus on what he is doing, and she needs to focus on what she is doing. I love that you had Kia eventually come up, because that backed her into a corner and she couldn't continue to sort of interrogate Jotham, because Jotham is right to say, you keep setting boundaries and you keep checking in on what I am doing, but the same is not happening with you. You do not have any boundaries. You are free to kiss who you want. You're free to explore who you want, but I should be updating you every single moment. I don't get it. Kia was right to say, I need to know what's going on between the two of you so that I know where I stand. If the two of you are open to exploring a connection, then fine. I love that Jotham said, the door is open if you want to chat, but I'm going to put all my eggs in Gabby's basket because that's what I want to do. You do you, I do me. And good for him for saying that. And I'm happy that Kia was there. That way she can't sort of run in between the two of them and say different things. For her to try and play herself as the victim. Oh, everybody else is lying. I'm the only one who's being honest. Girl, be for real. Be for real. Be for real. So you had, we're shown a few clips of Ross and Shan. Ross and Shan are just a friendship couple that we're trying to see if it can go anywhere, and I'm really not buying it. For Shan to then leave that and go and have a chat with Isabelle and say, oh, I've got the tingles, I've got this, that. Whatever Isabelle was saying she feels about Connor, she was saying she feels the same. And for me, it's like, oh, girl, you're just being strategic. You're really just being strategic because everybody wants to be secure in a couple. They've seen what happened to Bailey and they don't want to be in the same shoes. So you then have poor Yana is trying to just find a quiet space in the villa. And for Lacy to come and force Yana to listen to it. I didn't like that. That left a bad taste in my mouth because Lacy was saying, I need to speak to you, I need to speak to you. And Yana said, no, we'll speak tomorrow. I'm not in the best of headspace. Well, I need to speak to you. I need to offload myself. And it's like, why are you so selfish? Not only have you kissed someone in her presence, now you're confiding in what you've done behind her back. What more do you want? What sort of friend are you? I feel like she was just being selfish and self-centered. So eventually it came out that she had kissed, Kia away from the challenge, prior to the challenge. And Jana, this wasn't good news for her. So she told her, I'll speak to you tomorrow when I'm in a better headspace, which makes sense. Avoid making decisions or having conversations when you're upset, because at times you end up saying things or doing things you regret. So I am 100% team Yana on this. For Lacy to say, oh, I'm the only one who's being honest in this villa, I don't care, I've been honest, I've been truthful. Girl, you haven't. You've been very vindictive, malicious, and self-centered. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 5. Bye guys.